Excuse me. All right, today's lesson, continuing on in the series that we have been looking at, session 4 is entitled, "Is Jesus God?" Is Jesus actually God? And we're not going to get into an in-depth discussion necessarily regarding the technicality of that, but we are going to look at the birth narrative. So imagine that, the Sunday before Christmas. We'll look at the birth narrative a little bit of. As you think back and you look back and throughout your life, think way back to when you were an adolescent. You think back and you look back and a teenager and throughout your life. Did you make any bad decisions? Way back to when you were an adolescent. You think back bad decisions. What are some bad decisions we make as teenagers? Make any bad decisions? Way back to when you were an adolescent. Now don't be too bad decisions explicit. What are some bad decisions we make as teenagers? Make any bad decisions? Way back to when you were an adolescent. Hang out with. Don't be too bad decisions sketchy people. What are some bad decisions we make as teenagers? Look back on, I wouldn't say sketchy. I say that facetiously. Hang out with. Don't be too bad decisions. People maybe you look back on. What are some bad decisions we make as teenagers? Look back on, I wouldn't say sketchy. And it's easy when we think about those memories, people maybe think, what are some bad decisions we made as teenagers? And it's easy when we think about those memories, people maybe think, what are some bad decisions we made? Because those people may be thinking, those people were really bad. I should have think about those memories, people maybe think, we don't include ourselves always. Those people may be thinking, not included in that. I should have maybe some choices we made, we don't include ourselves always. Anything else? Maybe think, anyone ever have a bad, really bad haircut? Common thing. Maybe some choices we made, we don't include ourselves always. Anything else? Maybe think, anyone ever have a bad, really bad haircut? Think back to that common thing. Maybe you had hair, and you think, did I have a really bad haircut? Anything else? Maybe think, anyone ever have a bad, we did some, the adolescent brain. You had hair, we know. Think, did I have a really bad haircut? Anything else? Maybe think, wow. We did some, the adolescent brain. You had hair, we know. Think, did I have a really bad haircut? Anything else? Prefrontal cortex and all of those. We did some specific areas. Doesn't fully develop until we have a really bad haircut. Anything else? Prefrontal cortex and all of those. We did some specific areas. Doesn't fully develop until we have a really bad haircut. Make good sound decisions. We did some specific areas. Doesn't fully develop until we have a really bad haircut. How old was Mary when she got on those decisions? Doesn't fully develop until we have a really bad haircut. How old was Mary when she got on those decisions? From the time period, she was what? Make you think about it, Joe. From the time period, think about it. Make sure you're reading that Bible. Yeah. Think about it. Ask me a question there's no answer to. Make sure you're reading that Bible. Based on the time period and the geography where they were at, what would have been the estimate? Based on the time period and say geography where they were at, what would have been we were making our best educated guess based on the time period and say geography where they were at, what would have been we were making our best educated guess based on the time period and say geography where they were at, young ladies were typically betrothed between the ages of 13. So while there is no actual age given, be safe to assume perhaps because between the ages of 13 and so while they were no actual age given, would have been safe to assume perhaps how old between the ages of 13 and so about 18 or actual age given, would have been safe. So the betrothal was around those age ranges. So as a 13-year-old, would have been 15. So the betrothal was around those certainly capable of having a child. So as a 13-year-old, would have been 15. So the making decisions around decisions certainly capable about having a child. So as a 13-year-old, it happens today. But especially when you are 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, whatever that may have been, maybe a little older. Especially when you have an angel appear to you, 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, whatever that may have been, maybe hard enough for us to fathom and have an angel appear to you, 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, whatever that may have been, maybe hard enough for us to fathom and have an angel appear to you, 13, 14, 15, finds out that she's 16 years old, whatever that may have been, maybe hard enough. She's obviously, she would have had a lot of questions. She would have been a little overwhelmed. And she would have had a lot of questions. Uncertain of what was going to happen. A little overwhelmed certainly in her life. So a lot for her to take in. So we're going to look at this morning in Luke. Now, again, I'm going to test your knowledge of the Bible. A lot for her to take in. So we're going to look at this morning, what are the Gospels? Now, again, I ask you, everyone can say, we've been in church, and everyone in this room has heard what are the Gospels, that terminology, but what are the Gospels? Everyone can say, we've been in church, and everyone in this room has heard what are the Gospels, that terminology, but what are the Gospels? Everyone can say, we've been in church, and everyone in this room has heard what are the Gospels, that terminology, but what are the Gospels? Everyone can say, I'll go ahead and throw this question your way. What are the Gospels, that terminology, but what are, for those of you who may be watching online, it's not Joel, throw this question your way. For those of you who may be watching online, it's not Joel, throw this question your way. Luke for sure, because it's in the Sunday school lesson. If you're looking at it right now, we know that one. Get that one. Luke for sure, because it's in the Sunday school lesson. If you're looking at it right now, we know that one. Get that one. Luke for sure. Acts in the Sunday. Back in Matthew's, the birth narrative. Now we know that one. The Bible is great, except the font. Luke for sure. Acts in the Sunday. Back in Matthew's, the birth narrative. Now we know that one. The birth narrative, or Jesus' birth in Matthew. Start reading in Matthew. Matthew 1 talks about the genealogy. The birth narrative, Matthew 2, Jesus' birth really focuses on Matthew 1. It's about Jesus' birth, but it also takes into account Matthew 2, Joseph's birth. Really focuses on Matthew 1. It's about Jesus' birth, but it also takes into account a bit more of what Mary's birth. Really focuses on Matthew talks about Jesus' birth, but it also takes into account a bit more of what Mary's there. But in Matthew, it gives a little bit of insight, talks about into Joseph, but it's all Matthew will be wrapped up in chapter 1, all of the birth narrative is in but it's all Matthew will be wrapped up in chapter 1, birth, really, because once you get to chapter 2, it talks about the Magi, Matthew, the Messiah. What do we know about the Magi? Birth, really, because once you get to chapter 2, it talks about the Magi. It was later, probably Jesus' age at that time would have been about what? Because once you get to chapter 2, it talks about the Magi. It was later, probably Jesus' age at that time would have been about what? Because once you get to chapter 2, it talks about the Magi. It was later, probably Jesus' age at that time would have been about what? If you look at what was going on, the reason that we would think that it was probably a couple of years later is why. Look at what was going on. The reason that we would think that it was probably a couple of years later is why. Look at what was going on. The reason that we would think that it was probably a couple of years later is why. Just deducing from that, it would make sense that if Herod made that proclamation, it probably was trying to get it. So in Matthew, everything really that it talks about as far as the birth of Jesus is probably the life of Jesus, the birth of Jesus. So in Matthew, chapter 2, where the Magi, John, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Mark, actually, so in Matthew, chapter 2 were the Magi. John, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Mark, actually, but if you look at in Mark, John, Matthew, Mark, chapter 1 of Mark talks about John the Baptist preparing the way, and then goes right into the baptism. In Mark, John, Matthew, Mark, chapter 1 of Mark talks about John the Baptist preparing the way. Luke, of course, goes right into the baptism. Mark. What about John? Does John have a verse about preparing the way? Luke, of course, goes right into the baptism. What about John? It's not the birth narrative like the nativity and those things, but it does talk about the Word becoming flesh. So it's not necessarily the birth narrative. It's not the birth narrative like the nativity and those things, but it does talk about those within the Gospels, which most of us, not the birth narrative like of us, would if asked a question. Those within the Gospels, which most of us, not the birth narrative like of us, would if asked a question. Those within the Gospels, which most of us would be inclined to say that if the birth narrative was probably discussed in the Gospels, most of us would be inclined to say, oh, that talks about Jesus. That it's the birth narrative story of Jesus from the perspective of these four Gospels are written. It's the narrative story of Jesus. We look at from the perspective of Matthew. Matthew kind of gave a indication in the first chapter about maybe what Joseph Matthew the events as they unfold. We're going to read the first chapter of Luke about maybe what Joseph was thinking about the birth narrative Matthew the events as they unfold. We're going to read the first chapter of Luke about maybe what Joseph was older about Matthew the events as that young 13, 14, 15-year-old teenager who married Luke about Joseph was older going through Joseph's home. And that young 13, 14, 15-year-old teenager who married Luke about had they been given a gift going through Joseph's home? Had Mary and Joseph been given a gift from God? Had they been given a gift going through Joseph's home? Have you ever received a gift from someone and Joseph been given a gift from God? Have they been given a gift going through Joseph's home? Have you ever received a gift from someone and Joseph? So yeah, perhaps from God. So you thought, why me? What else may have Joseph thought? At the announcement. And how did Joseph find out that he was going to, that Mary was going to have a child? What else may have Joseph thought? At the announcement. And how did Joseph find out that he was going to, that Mary was going to have a child? So his first thought, we joke about this all the time, but his first thought was probably what? Announcement. And how did Joseph find out that he was going to, that Mary was going to have a child? So his first thought, we joke about this all the time, but his first thought was probably what? In reality, how did Joseph find out that he was going to Mary was going to have a child? So his first thought, we joke about this all the time, but his first thought was he did have reality. He knew because what the angel had told him. If so, his first thought was believing that, and the fact that it was true, he did have. Joseph had a big decision. He knew because what the angel had told him. If so, his first thought was believing that, and the fact that it was true, he did have. Joseph had a big decision. He knew that we talk about this, so I'm not going to. If the labor, the fact that betrothal was, he did have a big decision. He knew that we talk about this, so I'm not going to. If the labor, the fact that betrothal was, he did have a big decision. He knew that we talk about this, so I'm not going to. If the labor, the fact that betrothal was, he did have a big decision. He knew that we talk about this, so I'm not going to. If the labor, the fact that betrothal. Imagine what the adults would be. It's a good point, David, because you think about, the kids, when kids do things, when teenage boys, teenage girls do things, and we look at them, it's a good point, David, because you think about, the kids, when kids do things, but then what do teenage boys, teenage girls do things, and we look at them, it's a good point, David, because you think about, the kids, when kids do things, but then what do teenage boys, teenage girls do things, and we look at them, it's a good point, David. If the adults in that time were any kids do things, then what do teenage boys, maybe they weren't, maybe we're just if the adults in that time were any kids then what do teenage boys, maybe they weren't, maybe we're just if the adults in that time were any kids then what do teenage boys, maybe they weren't. The what? The adults JK.
All the young JKs.
The what? The adults
Oh,
JK.
Alia, JK.
The what? Yes. JK.
Alia,
It would have been very similar.
Alia, JK.
The what? Yes. JK.
Alia,
It would have been very similar.
Alia, JK.
The what? Yes. JK. It would have been very similar.
Alia, JK.
Because it would have been, people are the same. People are the same. When Job went through all of his trials, what did the people around him? Because it would have been, people are the same. I mean, they went through all of the same things. What did the people around him? It would have done the same thing to the point of, just, I mean, they went through all of the same things. What did the people God and all of these things are the same, very similar. People are the same. Maybe they went through all of the same things. What did the people God and all of these things are the same, very similar. So Joseph had a lot going on as well. As a young man, some big decisions to make. So Joseph had a lot. Joel mentioned earlier as a young military personnel, some big decisions to make. It's easy to think about. So Joseph when we think about being brave for our military personnel, some big decisions. It is. You're away from home. So we're spending Christmas away from home, and we think lift up those decisions. It is. You're away from home. So we're spending Christmas away from home. Lift up those decisions. It is. You're away from home. Thousands of miles Christmas away from home. Lift up those decisions. They're not. Away from home. Thousands of miles Christmas away from home. Lift up those decisions. They're not. Away from home. Lift up those decisions. Away from home. Tough decisions for Joseph to have to work through. So we see some of that in Matthew. But in Luke, what was Luke's profession? Have to work through. So I want to recall what Luke was, his vocation. But in Luke, what was Luke's profession? His position. And maybe that's what Luke was, his vocation. But in Luke, what was Luke's profession? His position. We see in Luke a little bit more of maybe Mary's perspective. And we also know that there was another pregnancy that took place. Now, keep in mind that it had been some time, about 400 years, since God had spoke to. Now, keep in mind that it had been some time, about 400 years, and that God had spoke to. Now, when I read that it had been some time, about 400 years, and that God had spoke to. Now, when I read that, when we pray for things, we want God to answer about 400 years, and that God had spoke to. Now, we want it like that. We pray better have his tea ready when I get around the corner. My sauce burger and Frenchy fries. We want it like that. We pray better have his tea ready when I get around the corner. We want that. We want God to act now. Frenchy fries. And I read this, and in our book, like that. Maybe it verse as well, but it says it had been 400 years since God last spoke. We want God to act now. Frenchy fries. And I read this, and in our book, maybe it verse as well, but it says it had been 400 years. Not that they were waiting for God to act now. Kept put me in my mind of God 400 years, thinking about as God works. Not that they were waiting for God to act now. Kept put me in my mind of humanity 400 years, thinking about as God works. The timeline is everything. God to act now. So put me in my mind of humanity. 100 years past, 200 years, 500 God past. But when you don't live in time, so and we ought to forgive that because we want God past. We want things done. And if God doesn't answer our prayers immediately, what do we do? Do we wait patiently and pray again? We want things done. And if God doesn't answer our prayers immediately, what do we do? We're going to wait. So it had been a while since. And if God doesn't answer our prayers immediately, what do we do? So now an angel appeared. Did an angel appear first to Mary? And if God doesn't answer our prayers immediately, what do we do? So now think about the birth there. We think about the events going on, relating that. Did the angel appear? Did an angel Now, think about here first, think about the event of Mary, relating that. In this, did an angel appear 6 months before that? An angel. Now, think about here first, think about the event of Mary, and remember Elizabeth and Zechariah 6 months before that were an angel, because they had been praying for a child, and they got one. Elizabeth and Zechariah, they got their prayer answered. They were an angel, because they had his duties in the temple, and an angel had got here and said, God has heard your prayers, because they had his duties and he's been praying. And God had got here and said, God has heard you and he's going to answer your prayers. And he's been praying. And God had got here and said, God has heard you and he said your prayers. And he's been praying. I'm an old man and she's an old woman. I got here and said, God has heard you. I've been praying about this for years. It's too late. I'm an old man and she's an old lady. You're telling me that God's going to answer my prayers now? I've been praying about this for years. It's too late. You're telling me that God's going to answer my prayers. We want God acting when we want Him to act. They have been praying for a child, and they got it. They didn't get their prayers answered. You think maybe they were God acting when we wanted to act? They have been praying for a child, but Gabriel finally came and said, okay, God is their prayers answered. He's going to give you this child. You're going to name him John. For a child, but Zechariah says, thank God. Okay, God is their prayers answered. He's going to give you this child. It's too late. I don't believe this is going to happen. Give me a sign. Gabriel says, I'm giving this child. I don't believe this is going to happen. Give me a sign. Gabriel says, I'm giving this child. Here's your sign. Give me a sign. When the baby's born, Gabriel says, when the baby's born, you're going to name him John. Here's your sign. And when the baby's born, Gabriel says, when the baby's born, you're going to name him John. So, an angel had already appeared. There's already a birth narrative going on to some degree. But we see in Luke, chapter 1, already appeared. 26 through 39 going on. Says, in the 6th month. Now, what we see in Luke, chapter 1 already appeared. 26 through 39 going on. Says, in the 6th month. Now, what we see in Luke, chapter 1 already appeared. 26 through 39 going on. Says, in the 6th month, sent by God to a town in Galilee called Nazareth. Nazareth today inhabits about 100 and some thousand people back then, called Nazareth. Nazareth today inhabits about 100 and some thousand. To a virgin engaged to a man named Joseph of the house of David. Why is that important? Today inhabits about 100 and some thousand. To a virgin engaged to a man named Joseph of the house of David. Why is that important? Today inhabits about. The virgin's name was Mary. An angel came to her and said, "Greetings, favored woman. The Lord is with you." But she was deeply troubled by the statement, wondering what kind of greeting. Greetings, favored woman. The Lord is with you. But she was deeply troubled. Why do you think that she found that greeting? Kind of greeting. Greetings, favored woman. The Lord is with you. She was deeply troubled. Why do you think that she found that greeting? Kind of greeting. Greetings, favored woman. The Lord is with you. She was deeply troubled. Why do you think that she found that greeting? Kind of greeting. Greetings, favored woman.
It wasn't like this little old lady could have had to.
Why do you think that she found that greeting?
See, it ain't old lady. It wasn't like
exactly. That may be the best way to put it. You see an angel coming, something going on. Exactly. Seriously, that may be the best way to put it. You see an angel coming, something going on. Exactly. Seriously, that may be the best way. Their appearance probably, most always when an angel appeared to someone, what did they say? Seriously, their appearance probably. So obviously, when that appeared to someone, what did they say? Seriously, they would have caused someone. So obviously, when there appeared to someone, what did they say? Way down the road. It's an event. So obviously, when there appeared to someone, what did they say? So it's an event. Yeah, that's a t-shirt for sure. So It's an event. Yeah, that's a t-shirt for sure.
That's not biblical. Okay, that's not biblical. There are the female babies.
The cherubs.
That's not biblical. Okay, they're praying one time, they're not babies. Don't have a family.
The cherubs. All right, this is a different lesson, Elizabeth. All right, so. Cherubs. All right, this is a different lesson, Elizabeth. Troubling. All right, so first and foremost, troubling because, like Elizabeth was talking about, this is a different lesson, Elizabeth. When angels appear. Troubling. All right, so first and foremost, troubling because, like Elizabeth was talking about, this is a different lesson. When angels appear. Troubling. All right, so first and foremost, troubling because, like Elizabeth was talking about, this is a different lesson. Would it be difficult to convince someone else? All right, so first and foremost, would it be difficult to convince someone? Where's that story going to end up? On the front page of the. Would it be difficult to convince someone? Where's that story going to end up? That's a story that on the front page of the, and it sounds like something you would see there, not real news, but you know it would be real news. But that's a story that on the front page. So yeah, it would be just that appearance would be troubling. What else about Gabriel's announcement and appearance to Mary would have just that appearance would be troubling? What else about Gabriel's announcement and appearance to Mary would have just that appearance would be troubling? What else about Gabriel's announcement and appearance to Mary would have just that appearance would be troubling? What else about Gabriel's announcement and appearance to Mary would have just that appearance would be troubling? What else about Gabriel's announcement and so thus far, we're only told that the angel Gabriel has appeared to her and has said, thus far, we're only told that. Now, continuing on, has appeared to her, and we're about to run out of time, so we've got to work through the scripture. Then the angel told her, do not be afraid, Mary, for you have found favor with God. Now listen, you will conceive and give birth to a son, and you will name him. Do not be afraid, Mary, for you have found favor with God. Now listen, you will conceive and give birth to a son, and you will name him. Do not be afraid, Mary. It relates to favor with God. Now listen, you will conceive and give birth to a son, and you will name him. Do not be afraid. Yes, but it comes from the Greek equivalent of Joshua, which translates salvation is from God. But it comes from so Greek equivalent told you're going to have a son. You're going to name him Jesus. He will be great and will be called the Son of the Most High. And the Lord God will give him the throne of his father David. He will reign over the house of Jacob forever, and his kingdom will have the Lord God will give him the throne of his father David. All right, so we're told in these scriptures what this announcement was, the favor that she's had. So Mary, first troubled by the announcement, we're told in these scriptures the appearance of the angel, and now the greeting, and here's the proclamation. You found favor with God, you're going to conceive and give birth. The appearance of the angel, and now the greeting, and here's the proclamation. You found favor with God, you're going to conceive and give birth. The appearance of the angel, and now the greeting, and here's the proclamation. Elizabeth found favor with God, they've been praying for quite some time. And they were given that child. Mary, Elizabeth found favor with God, they've been praying for quite some time. And they were married. Elizabeth be married. She's a virgin. How do we know she's a virgin? And they were married. Right here before, she's a virgin. How do we know she's a virgin? We're told she's a virgin. And she's just received word that she's going to give birth. Right here before, she's a virgin. And not only is she going to conceive a son, but whose son is she? She's just received word that she's going to give birth. Right here before, she's a virgin. And not only is she going to conceive a son, but whose son if we continue on, and I'm going to jump back to that scripture before just a little bit, say a couple of things about it. But Mary's response, Mary asked the angel, how came you on? And I'm going to jump back to that scripture. Since I have not had sexual relations with a man. Mary's response to her, Mary asked the angel, "How can the Most High overshadow you? Since I have not had sexual relations with the Holy One to be born." Mary's response to her, Mary asked the angel, "How can the Most High overshadow you?" What's Mary's response to this announcement? How did Mary's response to her? Mary asked the angel. Zechariah responded with doubt and said, "No way. Give me a sign." We're old. Too late. Doubted. Zechariah doubted and wanted to doubt and said, "What was Mary? No way. Give me a sign." We're old. Too late. Doubted. Zechariah doubted. It wasn't a, "No, I don't believe it." What was Mary? No way. Give me a sign. We're old. Too late. Doubted. Zechariah doubted. It wasn't a, "No, I don't believe it." What was Mary? No way. Give me a sign. We're old. Get her that. Zechariah doubted. It wasn't a, "No, I don't believe it." What was Mary? Does our society wholeheartedly accept? Zechariah doubted. It wasn't a, "No, I don't believe this in Scripture." Does our society wholeheartedly accept about the right society? It wasn't a, "No, I don't believe this in Scripture." Does our society wholeheartedly accept about the right society? It wasn't a, "No, I don't believe this in Scripture." Does is there doubt that Jesus could have been born? Is there doubt by society that Jesus could have been born? Is there doubt that Jesus could have been born? Is there doubt by society that Jesus could have been born? Is there doubt that Jesus could have been born? It's not hard to believe when you think about that Jesus could there been someone named Jesus. That would have doubt that Jesus could have been born, which speaks to the human. It's not hard to believe when you think about that Jesus could have been. When you look at the birth of it, and you think about, okay, how do we reconcile that Jesus is fully God and fully human? Well, first, being fully human meant that he was born. How do we reconcile that Jesus is fully God and fully human? First, being fully human meant that he was born. How do we reconcile that Jesus is human? So that speaks to his humanity. What speaks to his divinity? The fact that Jesus is human. So that speaks to his humanity. Now, does society have a problem with divinity? The fact that trying to reconcile those two culturally with divinity is a little different when it gets to speaking to his divinity that we know. Trying to reconcile those two culturally with divinity is a little different when it gets to speaking to his divinity that we know. Trying to reconcile those two culturally with divinity is a little different when it gets to again, when you look at the two viewpoints, troubling for both. Mary from both of them somewhat from the standpoint or the viewpoint of what's everyone going to think? Mary, because Mary knew both of them somewhat from the standpoint or the viewpoint of what's everyone going to think? But what would everyone think? Mary knew both of them somewhat from the standpoint of Mary. What's everyone going to think? But so everyone's going to know. How do you explain that? Mary knew. How do you accept that if you're Joseph? And what would everyone think? What's everyone going with that? But so it had a lot going on. How do you accept that if you're Joseph? What would everyone think? But what's everyone going with that? The angel Gabriel does explain to them. How do you accept that if you're Joseph? How that would happen. Now, but what's everyone going with that? The angel Gabriel does explain to them. For someone who's not sitting, how that would happen. I even asked you this morning. The angel Gabriel does explain to you about the Bible that we all know, who's not sitting, how that would happen. I even asked you this morning. The angel Gabriel does have heard about the Bible that we all know, who's not forgot to sound the deep. And I even ask you, when I ask you, don't raise your hand. When I ask you, how many of the Bible that we all know, how many of the Gospels forgot to sound the deep? And I even ask you, when I ask birth, and don't raise your hand. When I ask you about how many of the Bible that we all know, how many of you got all four? When I ask birth, and don't raise your hand. When I ask you about how many of the forget those things. So that's coming from our point. So when you think about someone who's not in who hasn't read a lot of it, who doesn't know a lot of the details, how do you explain the virgin birth? So when you think about someone who's not in who hasn't read a lot of it, who doesn't know a lot of the details, how do you explain the virgin birth? So when you think about someone who's not in who hasn't read a lot of it, who doesn't know a lot of the details, how do you explain the virgin birth? So when you think about someone who's not in who hasn't read a lot of it, who who doesn't know a lot of the details, how do you explain? There are things in the Bible that you think are not going to be clear to us necessarily from our human. Who doesn't know a lot of the details? Unless we're giving their things in the Bible that God are not going to be clear, then we may not understand necessarily from our human. And there are, just like this account and other accounts that we read in the Bible, things that you can only take. We may not understand. You can't explain. And how there are, just like this account and other accounts that we read in the Bible, things that you can only take. We may not understand. You can't explain. And how there are, just like this account and that was necessary for Jesus to be understood. You can't explain. And how there needed to have that, and that was necessary for the human race. But it had to be different than every other. It needed to have that, and that was necessary for the human race. But it had to be different than every other. It needed to have that, and that was necessary for the human race. So it had to be different. When we look at was Jesus God, so when we look at how he had those human qualities God and divine qualities in his, just look at how just through that account, and then of course qualities God and divine qualities. The birth experience only. We can see that in fact just through that account, and then of course qualities God and human divine just through the birth experience only. We can see that in fact there is no doubt in that, but keep in mind, as we share those accounts, like David said, if someone were to ask this holiday season, if someone were to ask about what you believe, doubt in that, but keep in mind, as we share our place, like David said, to berate someone this holiday season, if someone were to beat them over the head with the Bible and say, this is the word, you should believe it, but rather we share our place, like David shared, to berate someone, Holy Spirit, beat them over the head with the Bible and say, this is the word, you should believe it, but rather we share our place, like there are things even that we have, Holy Spirit, beat them over the head with the Bible and say, it's only our faith that allows God to share our place, like there are things even that we have, Holy Spirit. Hope everyone has a fantastic, it's only our faith that allows God to share. Enjoy, rest, and don't forget those things. Hope everyone has a great day.